Welcome, welcome, welcome to We're Not Just Going to Survive, we're going to thrive in our health, because for us, surviving is not an option. Thriving is an absolute must. So I hope everybody is thriving and doing well. Today, I'm going to kind of change it up a little bit, not doing an exercise program or exercise regimen, but instead, I want to talk about eating whole foods. And I think it's important that we start looking at the type of foods that we're eating and start really, evaluating where we are in our health, and so we can thrive and not survive. Whole foods are basically foods that's in its natural state. So that would be any of your fruits usually are whole foods. And I know that they do put pesticides on different things. And even with some of your vegetables, they do certain things to put pesticides on it, but you try to get the organic, the best, quality that you can to try to avoid that. You can't avoid it all. I understand that, but you try to do the best that you can. So your whole foods are those foods that's in its natural state. And I'm trying to add more whole foods in my lifestyle. And I won't call it a diet, because it's not something that you want to do today and tomorrow and then you don't do it by the end of the week. It's something that's a lifestyle that you want to add these things into your lifestyle on a daily basis. And you can do that if you start thinking more of, how can I add whole foods into my regimen? How can I add whole foods into my lifestyle? And some of the ways that I've been doing that is looking at what I eat. So if I eat 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day, and for one meal, I may have something cooked. For the next meal, I may have something cooked. And for that third meal, it's all raw. So maybe out of 3 meals, I'll have 2 things that's cooked. Everything else would be raw whole foods. For example, if I have something for breakfast, I may have a pancake for breakfast, and I may have maybe some oatmeal. But then for the rest of the day, the rest of my foods are whole foods, raw food. So I'm eating fruit the rest of the day, or I'm eating salad, or if I want a snack, I may do celery with peanut butter or carrots, or some type of berries or cherries, or maybe a piece of watermelon, a piece of cantaloupe, something that's a whole food that's in its natural state. Because most of our foods now that the average American eats would be processed, packaged, canned, or bottled. That's usually what we have in our daily regimen. And so you have to really be, I'd say, mindful to try to figure out, how can I add more whole foods? Whole foods are very, very good for your body. They're good for your mind. They give you the vitamin and the minerals and all the things that you need, the energy that you need. And we need to be thriving in health, ladies and gentlemen, and not just surviving in health. And so I want to encourage you to start taking inventory, start looking at the foods that you eat, start seeing what you eat, and start trying to maybe modify that so you're eating more whole foods and getting more whole foods than the processed, cans, or bottled. And I'm going to move over just a little bit right now, because as I talk about whole foods, if you can see this, here's an apple tree. And I found a nice apple tree, well, a couple of them actually, that I can go and pick apples from. And, there's lots of apples on this tree. Most of them right now are green, but eventually they will be turning red. And I'll take some of the green apples, because I can do a lot with the green apples as well. But green apples, like finding an apple tree, that's whole food. So I have other trees that I pick from as well. But that's part of what I'm doing to help make sure that I'm eating whole foods, finding trees that I can pick from, and different places that I can go and shop that are like your farmers markets. And be careful for the pesticides, because people grow their vegetables and their fruits differently. But you can find those places that are organic, and try to buy the best quality that you possibly can. And so I just want to encourage you, as I'm trying to encourage myself, as I always say, what the videos that I put out, I'm trying to help myself. As I help myself, I want to help you. And I think that's what it's about. And that's why we need to thrive and not just survive in our health. So we want to be all that we can be for God, to do his will, to do his work. We want to have the energy and the stamina to be able to go and help others. And then we want to be able to help our neighbors, those people around us, and help ourselves. And we cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen, if we are not thriving, if we are just surviving, barely making it. And if we're sick, we have to be able to be the best that we can be. So I encourage you to start looking at your shopping list, start making a different shopping list, start making some changes, start eating those whole foods and those foods that are raw, that's in its perfect state, so that you can have a good mind and a good body, and that you can be able to go out and do the work that is set before you. God bless.